There's nothing like the magic of Christmas and its wonderful traditions. For me, it's all about the delicious food.
Oh, yes, please, Mary.
Shared with lovely friends.
Look at those mussels.
Together we'll celebrate the best of Christmas traditions.
Oh, when is a door not a door?
When it's a jar.
Correct.
Choose a very special Christmas tree
Mary, this is a lot of responsibility.
that will take pride of place in London's St Paul's Cathedral.
Goodness gracious, how amazing.
Enjoy the majestic lights
This is just magical.
It's beautiful.
and make some Christmas dreams come true.
That was absolutely delightful.
All wrapped up with the most wonderful recipes.
So there it is in all its glory.
Wow.
How about that then?
That is delicious.
Look at that.
Oh,
that looks
my
amazing.
stars.
Did you make these?
I did make them. Christmas is coming.
Cheers, Mary.
Happy Christmas.
It's Christmas, and for me, wonderful food is at its heart.
Come and join me. Christmas is the one time of year when you really want to do something different and something very, very special.
My menu this year does just that. Fillet of beef with a rich port sauce. The perfect canapé to thrill your guests. My ode to the season's favourite, pigs in blankets. And king mushrooms piled high with chestnut stuffing.
Just look at that.
But it wouldn't be a traditional Christmas without its sweet indulgences. Starting with a recipe that's sure to dazzle. Lemon and cherry mille-feuille.
When you've done it, you'll be very, very proud.
Simply start by cutting rolled out puff pastry into 3.
This is where judgment happens. You can get the tape measure out if you like.
Pop onto a baking tray and get ready for my top mille-feuille trick.
I don't want them to rise and topple over. I want it absolutely flat. And so what you do is put another piece of non-stick paper and weight it down with a baking sheet. Will it work? Promise you it does.
Crisp pastry is essential. They'll need 18 to 20 minutes in a 200 fan oven.
I first made a millefeuille when I went to the Paris Cordon Bleu. Believe it or not, it was 70 years ago. I was very nervous because we had to make our own puff pastry and it took all day, but the result was perfect.
When the pastry's cooled, generously coat the top layer with icing sugar mixed with lemon juice.
Take spoonfuls of this. Now I'm going to spread this to the edge. You do not want to get any pastry in with the actual icing. Just an even layer over the top. Mission completed on the icing.
Heat some cherry jam until it's runny, then sieve and let it cool. Here comes the Christmas challenge, but I promise you can do this.
It's funny, you speed up as you're going down here. So that's it.
Now for the magnificent feathering effect.
Take your cocktail stick, put it exactly halfway down, and then pull it across all the way down. With a fairly steady hand. Whoops. It had a little bend there. It looks homemade then. Just have to concentrate a bit. So across the top like that, all the way down. And that's your feather icing done. It wasn't difficult, but it's so effective.
While it sets, on to the next layer. Whipped cream with the juice and zest of a lemon.
And 4 tablespoons of good lemon curd. Then just whisk that, and already it's thickening up. That's the magic of lemon juice. It always thickens cream.
Spread it onto the bottom layer.
Put the next layer of pastry on top.
And the remainder of the cherry jam, but I haven't sifted it this time.
It's a joy to come across the real black cherries in the filling.
More cream, then the crowning glory.
A wing and a prayer. How about that then? I love to do something that is, you know, a bit of theatre really. It is so good.
As well as making beautiful food, Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without a tree. I'm off to Windsor Great Park because this year I've been asked to choose a very special one. And coming to help me is dear Zoe Ball, our favourite broadcaster.
Not as fit as they used to be. That is a magnificent view. Well, that's quite a walk. But I tell you what, when Mary Berry calls, you'll walk anywhere. Dame Mary, here I come. Oh.
Across these fields, the estate grows 2,500 trees each year. They will take pride of place in homes up and down the country.
This is what an amazing place to be.
It's magical. Now, I've got a task to do,
Okay.
and I want your help.
Yeah.
I've been asked to choose a tree. Guess what? For St Paul's.
You're joking.
Come with me, come on.
This is wonderful.
Every Christmas, it's the King's tradition to give St Paul's 3 trees big enough for the cathedral. We need to find one majestic enough for all to enjoy.
A little bit lean in the
Just
middle,
shapes,
isn't
a
it?
bit skinny in the middle.
And not quite tall enough.
Mary, this is a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of people coming to St Paul's in the Christmas period. It's got
And
to
they'll
be
expect
perfect.
something absolutely stunning.
The pressure is certainly on.
We're looking for one, something about 20 foot. And I reckon that's 3 tall men.
3 tall
with
men. You
lines
know some very
in
tall
a long
men.
line. But we want one that's really bushy at the bottom and at the top not too sparse either.
No.
And finally, we find it.
Look at that
too
gorgeous
high.
one there. Wouldn't that be perfect for
that's
St
good.
Paul's?
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Lots of room to hang decorations.
That is a great tree.
I hope the thousands who will visit St Paul's agree.
Are we cutting this down?
No.
Thankfully, that task is in the hands of Forestry Operations Manager and the very aptly named Luke Forrest.
And as if by magic.
Hello, Mary.
Lovely to see
Lovely
you.
to meet you. Hello, Zoe. Nice to
Lovely
meet you.
to meet you, Luke. Mary said she knew a man with a chainsaw.
Yeah,
What do you think about it?
I think it's a lovely tree. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Are you just going to cut that down, just you on your own?
Yeah, just me on my own.
Well, we'll stand back and admire and encourage.
Good luck, Luke.
Thank you.
I'm glad he's doing this, Mary.
Sounds angry.
It's on its way.
Certainly rocking.
Oh, it's going. Timber. Wow, there she goes. It's quite exciting. We'll manage that between the two of us.
Exactly, over the shoulder.
Yeah, over the shoulder we go.
One out and one back in. It's all about sustainability here.
And there's a new one to replace that one.
Oh, this
fantastic.
is about 6 inches. How long will it take to go to, say, 5 foot?
5 foot, well, probably around about 5 to 6 years, I would say.
Well, I'll be 96. I look forward to seeing it grow, don't
You'll
you?
be able to decorate it, Mary. It's perfect. Beautiful.
Time to escape the weather, and Royal Windsor has found us a festive log cabin to cook in.
It's really magical in here. It feels like a really special place to be, Mary.
We're going to cook a really good family meal to have over Christmas.
Sounds perfect.
My pigs in blanket cassoulet. What could be more comforting?
I'll be your sous chef.
When Mary Berry is your sous chef, you know you've made it in life.
First challenge, slice the banana shallots.
Mind your fingers. That's it.
Are these thin enough, Mary? I'm
They're
thinking.
just perfect.
I'm learning from the best here.
The great thing is to prepare. You
Be
know, if you
prepared.
get everything
Yes.
assembled,
Having everything prepped in little bowls. We used to do that as kids and pretend we were on cooking programmes.
so who cooks the Christmas dinner in your house, or do you go out?
I made it once, the Christmas dinner, and it was tasteless, Mary.
I doubt that, Zoe. Your chopping skills are spot on.
What about stockings?
So I do stockings for everyone. I still put a tangerine in the bottom because that was such a tradition when we were young.
One year, my son was
Yeah.
in Australia
Yeah.
for Christmas, and we went to join him. And I took the stockings and I took the satsumas. And in the customs, I was drawn to one side. You are not allowed to import fruit into Australia. My husband was so cross with me. He
mortified.
rarely gets cross with me. I said, I didn't know we're going to arrive and I want it to be traditional.
That's wonderful.
But I was reprimanded. I'll never do it
I
again.
can believe that.
But what I still do is make everyone's favourite, bacon wrapped round sausages.
I've never made my own pigs in blankets before.
And you can use veggie alternatives too.
And this is streaky bacon. Don't use back bacon, it doesn't do the job so well.
This is quite a satisfying job,
It's
actually.
satisfying, yes.
Very snug.
The bacon should be crisp, but the sausages not quite cooked, because they'll finish in the cassoulet.
They'll sizzle when they're going. Step back.
It's making me hungry.
When you see them brown on
Yep.
both sides, pop them on there.
Okay. Mary, it's all gone wrong.
If they're slightly uncurled, what does it matter?
What does it matter,
They know that
Mary?
Mum's made them.
Yes, and they will.
In the same pan, sauté the banana shallots.
Now, if my dad was here, Mary, he'd say that's shallot. The old bad dad gags
Oh, I see.
would come out right
Oh.
now.
The celery and some grated garlic. Then flour to thicken the sauce.
I'm really enjoying this, Mary. Can I just say this is possibly the best day of my life right now.
Now the wine. It's 200 ml exactly.
Wow.
Keep stirring.
Stir that in.
Now in comes the stock. And as you're adding, it will gently thicken.
Does it matter what stock you use?
You and I have used some chicken stock. You could use any stock, but obviously not fish stock.
Yes.
A tin of chopped tomatoes, 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, and a dash of sugar for balance.
Tomatoes have a little bit of acidity.
Season, then add the butter beans, which will soak up all the flavours.
And you know, if there's a gang and they're really hungry, you could even put a couple more tins of beans in.
To fill them all
to
up.
fill them all up.
Yes.
But doesn't that look good?
That looks divine.
Reduce the heat, rest the pigs in blankets on top, and cover for 15 minutes.
Look at that. Oh, it smells so good, Mary.
So I'm going to add some Dijon mustard and a little bit of thyme. Mix that all together.
A little touch,
And I can put that in the middle.
Because mustard's so good with sausages, isn't it?
It's a natural with sausages.
Yeah. I'm starving. I'm digging in. This looks so delicious. I can't speak, Mary. I'm in absolute heaven.
Those are pleasurable groans.
They are
aren't they?
definitely pleasurable groans. That is delicious. My family know I'm really happy when I'm eating something if I do the little dance.
If I start to do this, I think my family will think I've lost it.
My next recipe is just as joyful, using the wonderfully festive ingredient, chestnuts.
I wanted something rather different from the nut roast, so I came up with this idea of mushrooms, a great mountain of stuffing, and the halloumi just holds it together, and it looks so tempting when it comes out of the oven and tastes even better.
Season the mushrooms and place in a sizzling pan. Cover until they shrink down. Then flip them and fry for a couple more minutes.
They smell good too. There we are. The topping for these mushrooms was inspired by my traditional chestnut stuffing that I've been making for years.
Heat some sunflower oil with butter.
And then onions, chopped onions, celery, butternut squash. I bet you're looking at that and thinking, oh, it's usually cut in cubes.
But coarsely grated will cook quicker.
And lastly, chestnuts. Now these are cooked chestnuts and you can get them in a vacuum pack. All you've got to do is just chop them up.
5 or so minutes over a medium heat and the veggies will be soft. Once they're cooled, on we go.
I'm going to add half the halloumi in here and then half will go on the top at the end. I am not adding it to a hot mixture because I don't want the halloumi to melt at this stage.
Chopped parsley and sage.
And lastly, rosemary taken off the stem and finely chopped. Suddenly the fresh herbs come up and you think Christmas is coming. Give that a good mix.
Season and pile onto those mushrooms.
It's Christmas, so I want to be really generous. You certainly don't have to be a vegetarian to enjoy these. Our son Thomas has an appetite of horse, and he will have these along with the turkey.
Top with remaining halloumi and a sprinkle of paprika.
These are so quick and easy to actually make and assemble.
180 fan for 15 to 20 minutes is all you need.
Just look at that. Wow! Look so tempting. It really is absolutely scrumptious.
The Royal Windsor Estate is full of surprises. I want Zoe to meet one of its oldest residents. This oak is thought to be 1,300 years old, fully grown when William the Conqueror chose this site for the castle. But first, a wonderfully indulgent hot chocolate to take with us.
Oh, yes, please, Mary.
All the little ones will love this as well, won't they?
Well, blow the little ones, we're going to enjoy it.
Do you mind if I go full on with the squirty cream?
Oh, for goodness sake.
I know, sorry.
I'm going to have a little bit of nutmeg on top of mine. And, oh, I think I might put a little bit of extra chocolate in there. My husband loves hot chocolate. In fact, our day is punctuated with it over the winter. Starts off with 9:30 in the morning, then comes Levins's, and sure enough at tea time, yet another.
How does he have his?
He has it quite strong and very, very hot and frequently.
You are talking about the hot chocolate there, Mary, aren't you? Yeah. I've been really good all day and then I lower the tone.
Well, that's quite enough of that.
Come on, grab a coat and come with me.
Okay.
So what's your oldest tradition in your family for Christmas?
I think, you know, decorating the tree and putting baubles on of pictures of our lost loved ones. So my nana and granddad, my mum, we hang them all up onto the tree. And it's such a special moment to remember those who aren't with us anymore, who are always in our hearts. That's pretty special.
Well, we don't have William, my son, with us anymore, and we have an angel at the top which has William written on, and everybody stands round to put him at the top of the tree because he always will be the top of our tree.
Top of your tree. That's beautiful. Always with you. Oh.
Family and friends are at the heart of my Christmas. But of course, food is part of the magic too.
On Christmas Day, we always have blinis with sour cream and caviar, and you can't have caviar without a little shot of vodka. So,
Why not?
But, you know, as
Where's
it is...
the caviar then? And
That's
the
coming in a
blinis?
minute, actually, Mary. So, Mary, to our lovely angels, and Merry Christmas to you and yours.
And a happy Christmas to you. Oh, gosh, that's nearly knocking me out before I even tasted it. Oh, that'll warm the cockles. They're warm. They're very hot.
Cheers. Merry Christmas, Mary.
Like Zoe, I also love a sprinkling of luxury at Christmas.
That'll do fine.
I want my main course to be extra special this year. A sumptuous fillet of beef with the perfect crisp topping.
I promise you that this beef will be the star of the show.
The beef fillet has been marinated in port, garlic, thyme and bay leaves overnight.
Then I'm going to lift that out. I'm saving that port for the gravy. Then I'm going to just dry that off a bit because I'm going to brown it.
Season and sear in a hot pan.
You've got to keep an eye on it so that it's evenly browned all the way. That's a glorious golden brown colour. Then the job's done.
Keep any juices for the gravy, and it's time to give this fillet even more flavour.
Dijon mustard.
And chopped fresh thyme.
That will become a little bit crisp when it is actually roasted.
20 to 25 minutes in a 200-fan oven for a medium rare result.
While the beef's cooking, I'm going to make those stars. What a joy it is to have puff pastry in a packet.
I want a good-sized star to sit beside the fillet.
You can imagine this looks really wonderful when it's puffed up and gorgeous brown when you serve it. Pop that on the tray. Then brush over with beaten egg. That gives the beautiful shine. Then a little grated parmesan over the top. Looks special already. So the beef's going to be ready. I'll take that out and put the stars in.
The stars will need 10 to 15 minutes to puff up and turn golden, while the beef should have a good half hour to rest.
Gosh, that looks good, doesn't it? Cook's perks. We've got a hint of mustard then, and it's delicious.
Cover with foil and a tea towel. Snug as a bug in a rug. The stars are almost ready, along with the pork gravy.
This is the part that I really enjoyed. There's my fillet of beef, looks beautiful, and all I've got to do is carve it. It's beautifully tender. That smells wonderful. I don't think there's going to be much of that left. It's a good colour. Look at it. Proper gravy. And then, to make it very, very special, everybody is going to get one of these stars. I'm the lucky one. I'm going to have a taste. Absolutely beautiful. So tender. Light as a feather. To me, that was Christmas on a plate.
So delicious. And I have wonderful memories of other twinkly stars at Christmas too.
Every year when the children were little, we'd take them to see the lights. It was such a treat, holding the little hands, and they would all look up in amazement, and then we'd come back and have fish and chips. It was the first start to Christmas.
Going to see the Christmas lights is still one of my favourite traditions. And this year I'm taking legendary actor Alison Steadman.
Alison, welcome.
Hello.
I so look forward to this day.
Oh, so lovely to see you. Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
We've come to see the lights at RHS Wisley in Surrey.
Isn't this just magical?
It's beautiful.
Do you have lights at home?
Oh gosh, yes. At the end of Christmas, I can never take them down. It takes me weeks and weeks. On the first day of Christmas, my true love said to me, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
The perfect Christmas double act. Let's see if we can cook together just as well, here in the corner of their glass house.
I love twinkly lights.
Fingers crossed the temperature is as tropical as the plants.
Have you cooked in a glass house before?
Never, no. It's stunning.
Just as beautiful as these Christmas canapes. Crispy phyllo tarts with prawns and gravlax.
Do you make canapé at Christmas?
I do, but I don't cook things. And I call mine nibs.
I'm intrigued. Why nibs?
It comes from nibbles, you know, and they've now become nibs over the years. So.
Oh, I think that's it's going to be added to my vocabulary.
Is it?
I
Good.
quite fancy. Come for drinks and nibs.
While Alison butters the mini muffin tin,
We get a little factory going here.
I'm layering buttered phyllo pastry into a star shape.
Everybody remembers you. And Gavin, Stacey,
Yeah.
when you're out and about doing your shopping, does anybody come up to you and say, hello, Pamela?
Yes, they do. Oh, Pamela, Pamela, you know, which is lovely.
it's fun.
But what do they say to you, Mary?
They come and thank me for a particular recipe. And 9 cases out of 10, I make your lemon drizzle. And everybody loves it. I think it's so kind of people to say nice things. I'm always
Absolutely.
terrified they're going to say, I made your such and such and it sank in the middle. But just 2 more.
2 more, and then we're done.
Bake those for 8 to 12 minutes in a 180 fan oven until beautifully golden and crisp.
They look lovely.
Now for the fillings, starting with a cucumber relish.
Easier than doing a potato.
I like to prep these on Christmas Eve and assemble them on the big day.
I think Christmas Eve, sometimes it's more exciting than Christmas Day. It's the anticipation, isn't it? When I was a child, every year I would wake up in the morning and it would be full of these lovely presents. I mean, not a lot, because my parents didn't have that much money. We didn't have a lot of presents years ago.
Oh, absolutely not. And really, it was only presents from the family. Nobody else gave you presents, did they?
No, no. I can remember I got a doll that walked, and I can still see my mother's face when me and my sister walked the doll across the landing.
Oh.
And Mum was going, oh, did Father Christmas bring you that?
Back to the relish. De-seed the cucumber and slice into cubes.
That looks a bit thick, that bit now.
You're a little perfectionist here. You've done that most professionally.
Add in sliced spring onions and a Dijon mustard, vinegar and dill dressing.
Did your mum cook everything from scratch?
Oh, yes. I have such happy memories of helping my mum making the mince pies, you know, and I'd be cutting the pastry and she'd be filling it.
Now it's time to fill these. I'm sure your mother would approve. The cucumber relish, a fresh prawn, sour cream mixed with dill, mustard and vinegar, a swirl of gravlax or smoked salmon, topped with a sprig of fresh dill.
That looks absolutely lovely.
Sheer luxury nibs.
Mm.
I promised you they were going to be crisp, and I can hear that.
Lovely.
What I really want you to do is to serve them over Christmas.
I am tempted. I really am.
I know it's not Christmas Day yet, but there's one tradition Alison and I both love.
Come on,
Okay. Oh. Oh, and there's a hat.
Oh, come on, let's have the joke. How many oranges grow on a tree? I think we could do better than these. All of them. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Lettuce.
Lettuce who?
Let us in. It's cold outside. We are pathetic. When is a door not a door?
When it's ajar.
Correct.
My other sparkling recipe this Christmas is a delicious coffee and walnut nutcracker cake.
If you can make a Victoria sandwich, you can make this.
Starting with the eggs,
What was it my dad used to say? You have to be firm with an egg. There we are.
and equal measures of baking spread, caster sugar and self-raising flour.
Can't believe this all-in-one thing. It's
Your mother didn't do that, did
she
she?
certainly didn't.
Then baking powder and coffee essence.
And if you haven't got coffee essence, just use strong coffee.
And beat it all together.
Don't shoot it like that because it'll come over to me.
Hey. Oh, gosh.
That's it. That looks absolutely wonderful.
And then fold in those crunchy walnuts.
I remember one year my parents came for Christmas and I was icing this cake, making all these figures. And my dad sat with me the whole evening as I made this. And at the end of the night, he said to me, "Oh, I did enjoy watching you doing that. I really did."
It's all happy memories.
Very happy memories, yeah.
Divide the mixture between 2 greased 20-centimetre sandwich tins.
If you're really fussy, you can weigh each one to see that they're the same. But,
Or you cannot bother.
Bake these beauties for 25 to 30 minutes in a 160 fan oven.
I'm going to put a bit of almond liqueur over the top. It is Christmas after all.
It is Christmas.
Not too much, otherwise it would be soggy.
The topping is a new creation of mine. Walnuts and almonds caramelised in none other than icing sugar.
We experimented a lot when we were inventing this. This seemed to be the perfect topping.
I can't believe how icing sugar can make them so shiny and
Yes.
crisp.
They're just perfect. And tip them onto a plate.
Now to cover it in a delicious coffee buttercream. Alison is certainly up for the job.
Spread that evening right to the edge.
Add the second sponge and spread the icing all over.
And then on goes the nuts. Sort of higgledy-piggledy all over the top. And you've done that beautifully. It's perfect. It does look quite stunning, doesn't it?
It does. Looks absolutely lovely.
So there it is in all its glory.
Wow. Mmm. That's nice. Mmm. And the crispy nuts. Mmm. Oh, that is delicious.
One final look at RHS Wisley's magical Christmas lights.
Whee! Wow, that was quite warm. I think we might be getting wet very shortly.
Cheers, Mary.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas to you.
Sparkling recipes make our Christmas so special, but I also love those comfort dishes that warm the heart. Nothing is better than a traditional bubble and squeak brunch, especially for any family or friends staying over.
I always look in the hall when I get up in the morning and see how many pairs of shoes are there. Then I know how many grandchildren and their friends are all staying. And I can tell you, they really love something like this. They're always hungry.
Start with mashed potatoes. If you have any leftovers, all the better. Mashed roasties will work too.
Salt and pepper. a little bit of thyme.
Then any leftover greens like this cabbage here.
Then work it together and make sure it's really well mixed.
Fry off thinly sliced onions in plenty of butter until soft and tender.
I'm going to mix them all together. Turn the heat up really high and fry. If any brown bits appear, stir them in. Oh, the onion smells absolutely wonderful. Once that's all heated through, I'm going to leave it to sit and get a lovely crust at the bottom. And I can say these spatulas are nearly as old as I am. Just making the surface level.
The trick to a perfect crisp topping is melted butter and a sprinkling of paprika. Then under the grill for a few minutes.
I love all the other activities of Christmas, but there's nothing like being at home, having a good breakfast or a wonderful brunch. That is a beautiful golden brown. I just put this on the side in the kitchen and they help themselves. They don't want Granny about listening to their stories. Just look at that. Top it with eggs and bacon. And you know, when I was little, I always used to eat all the white first. And I had a horrible big brother who used to, just when I wasn't looking, pierce my egg. Why eat this for breakfast or brunch? I'd like it for my supper as well. Christmas is a time to enjoy the family and make the house look really beautiful. But there's another tradition that I'm really looking forward to.
Christmas outings are something families all over the country enjoy. My favourite is a visit to the theatre. This year, I'm off to enjoy the classic children's story, The Snowman. But first, a pre-theatre bite, and I've dressed up for it.
It's a real treat.
Joining me is Olympian and Strictly star, Harry Aitkins Ariti.
Ooh, this looks nice. Absolutely love getting dressed up to go out for Christmas. But the question is, do I call Mary Dame? How's it going, buddy? Nice to meet you.
Oh,
Dame Mary Berry, so
Harry.
lovely to meet you.
Harry, I'm so excited.
Oh, you look amazing.
Well, I'm glad you're not in your gladiator kit, because the last thing I would want to do is be chased around by you.
Mrs. Berry, I'll serve to you prawn cocktail, and for you, sir, mushroom vol au vent.
Oh, wow, thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amazing. I've not actually had this before.
That's special. How's yours?
It's absolutely delightful. What would you normally have at Christmas yourself?
Oh, always turkey.
Yeah? Our tradition is we have a turkey, but my mum makes such a good lamb. It's just amazing. So our Christmas has a bit of a mixture because we do have our West African background. So there's some jollof rice as well as the potatoes.
And a bit more spicy, I think.
Yeah, lots of spice. My mum has sort of ingrained the idea that, you know, spice is a flavour. It shouldn't be there to hurt you. It should be there to embrace and actually bring out some other flavours as well.
Cheers.
It's delicious.
Are you in a Christmas mood?
I'm really excited for Christmas this year because with my little one, now that she's old enough, we're able to, you know, make some biscuits and milk for Santa. So, you know, that's something that I'm really excited to do.
I have the perfect recipe for Harry and his daughter Aubrey to make together. My gingerbread snowman will be a hit with Father Christmas and anyone else who may be dropping in. And the restaurant has given us a little space to make them.
Don't they look good?
They're so well decorated.
And who's going to do the next lot?
Me and you? Or just me?
Just you, and I'll step in.
Okay, as long as I've got your help.
Don't worry, I'll be here by your side.
Let's get a quick, let me take this off so I can get her nice and paired for you there.
Look at those muscles. None of your gladiator tricks on me. Right, let's get down to it.
Let's get down to it.
Have you seen? It's not funny.
Time to put that strength to good use. The dough for these classic biscuits is very simple. Combine butter and dark muscovado sugar.
When you can see no flecks of white butter, then you know you've done your job.
Add golden syrup.
Oh, you're a natural.
Mary just said I was a natural.
No, but you're handling it well. I can see you've done a bit of baking.
Then an egg and whisk again.
I find baking so therapeutic. It was like one of the first things I really enjoyed at school.
Now for those traditional festive spices. Ground cloves, mixed spice, and ground ginger.
This is when I have to be careful with my daughter. She just scoops it straight in.
You're going to have to do it with her.
I am.
Right.
She's going to make me do it with her.
That's
I have no
right.
choice.
Finally, bicarbonate of soda and plain flour. Then one last mix.
Even though I've got all this muscle, I had to learn how to be delicate, and baking was something that I had to learn how to be delicate with, right?
Right, get that into a dough, and I'm just going to flour your hands a bit.
There we go.
Does that make you think of your mum?
It does, because I watch her cook and bake a lot. Cooking's a family thing, right?
This is a sticky dough, so Harry needs a generous amount of flour to roll it out.
Looks pretty spot on to me.
Use any cutter shape you have to hand.
Doing very well.
You're giving me all the confidence.
Firm these up in the fridge for 20 minutes, then it's into a 160 fan oven for 18 to 20 minutes to bake.
And those are cooled. Wonderful. Ooh.
There you go.
And then you're going to decorate them. Now, you've done MasterChef. You've done Strictly. How does your daughter feel about that?
Absolutely loves every show that I do. MasterChef taught her to cook, so now she cooks with me all the time. Doing Gladiators gives her the confidence to be the best version of herself, and Strictly, just embracing music and enjoying herself. It's been such a lovely journey. I kind of thought doing these things was selfishly for myself, but it's helped raise my daughter into something amazing, you know?
Decorate the biscuits with whatever icing accessories you want.
I'm smiling as I'm doing this. Should I be this happy? We've got a scarf.
Perfect.
On that goes. I've named him Nitro.
It's Nitro. This will take time to set, so why don't you try one?
Ooh. Oh no. That's so nice. I'm so happy. I'm going to recreate this recipe of Aubrey. This might become a little Christmas tradition, I think.
Aubrey's not the only one in store for a treat. I have something extra special lined up for Harry at the theatre. But we need to get there before curtains up.
You're used to giving a bit of a performance.
Yeah, I am just a bit.
Now, I've got a Christmas surprise for you. Come this way.
Okay, let's go.
The tale of a young boy on Christmas Eve has been mesmerising us for decades. Now Harry is going to be part of the story. And he's getting ready for his big moment.
I'm dressed for the occasion. Kind of nice meeting yourself. Dreamt of this as a little boy, so yeah.
There's a small role for me too.
Oh, this is wonderful. It's magical. Gosh, you must be busy at this time of year.
So you're going to hold my hand, right? I'm flying.
Oh, what's it like up there?
It's pretty awesome.
Don't leave him. Snowman, fetch him.
Absolutely delightful. That was a Christmas treat for me, I have to say. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very, very much. Oh, it's not every day you get a hug from a snowman.
What a wonderful Christmas memory.
Well, a really big thank you. What fun we've had today.
So much fun. That was absolutely brilliant.
I've got a little present for Aubrey here.
Oh, she will love these. Are you getting the tube?
I thought I'd try.
Oh.
My other favourite musical tradition is a carol concert. We selected a tree for St Paul's, which is going up for Christmas.
Lift a little bit and walk.
It takes the St Paul's team to make it happen.
Hey, Christmas has started.
I will see it later at their carol service. And I'm not going empty-handed.
I've got a real treat for those choristers. Crunchy caramel mini tarts.
An ideal gift for anyone you're visiting over Christmas.
They are really scrumptious.
Roll out short crust pastry very thinly.
Because it's nice to have lots of filling and not too thick a pastry. Now this is nice and thin, fairly even. Then I've got a 7cm cutter. Give it a twist round. Like mince pies, you can make these pastry cases ahead of time, put them in the freezer. Then lift each one and press down. It's just right. You get a little pleat sometimes on the side, just flatten it out. It's a nice way of passing time, knowing you're getting ready for Christmas.
Give them 20 minutes in the fridge before lining with parchment and baking beans to bake blind.
I've got a granddaughter who would much prefer chocolate and toffee and caramel to mince pies, so these would be perfect.
Into a 180 fan oven for 12 to 15 minutes. Onto the caramel, which starts with melting butter and light muscovado sugar.
It is very decadent.
Caramelised condensed milk out of a tin brings it all together.
And then I'll boil it for 2 minutes.
Whilst the filling cools, pop the pastry cases back in the oven without the baking beans to crisp up. Now fill them with that delectable caramel.
And it wants to come halfway up. No licking the spoon at this stage. I'm going to leave those in the fridge for a couple of hours while I make the lovely crunchy topping.
Can you believe it? It's simply crushed cornflakes in melted dark chocolate.
And it'll set really firm.
For a final flourish, white chocolate and these darling edible stars.
When the choristers see these, I want them to be excited and think, oh, is that for me? Gosh, they're good. The choristers at St Paul's are going to love these.
I've been invited to be one of the readers for tonight's carol service. And there is the magnificent Christmas tree we chose at Windsor. I'm so pleased.
Goodness gracious, I've never seen so many people in one church.
Before the service starts, I've got some special people to meet. 3 of the St Paul's young choristers and the Reverend Canon Philip Banks.
Welcome to today's service.
Well, I'm very excited to be here. Now, one of you is going to give a solo. Who's going to do that?
That's me. Yes.
Are you a little bit nervous?
Yes, I am. A bit, quite nervous. Because I got picked yesterday, so...
Only yesterday? Good
Yes.
gracious me. And so you've been practising like mad, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I know the solo because it's quite well known. But yeah, it's really exciting.
I think it's probably a really hard solo for a chorister to do, especially by themselves.
There you are. It's difficult for you to do.
Because it starts out the entire service, so it's like right at the beginning.
You must be very proud of your choristers.
I'm extremely proud of them and the hard work that goes on. There'll be 2,000 people in the cathedral tonight. It's that privilege to be able to provide this holy ground, a spiritual moment for people celebrating Christmas.
This is the first time that I have done a reading in St Paul's. Please give me advice.
If I were you, I would take deep breaths. Just think like you're telling a story to children in a library.
I'll treat them all like children.
Yeah.
Don't keep your head in the book. Keep your head up. Say things confidently. You'll do
Stand
well
up
either way.
straight.
People will love what you do anyways.
Thank you. I'm going to do my best.
Challenge set. I think a reward for advice is due.
I've got a surprise for you. I've made some little tartlets, not to be eaten before you sing.
Look at that.
Oh, that looks amazing.
Stars.
They look so good. Did you make these?
I did make them.
They smell so good. I have to close
Put the lid on so no one steals them.
Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
While the children and orchestra get ready, it's time for my grand finale. A spiced treacle and pear steamed pudding.
It'll be a right favourite.
Everything goes in one bowl. Eggs, baking spread straight from the fridge.
Then black treacle. I always think of Christmas and black treacle.
Light muscovado sugar, self-raising flour, a level teaspoon of baking powder, ground allspice, mixed spice, and ground ginger.
All the Christmas spices. And lastly, a little milk. I'm just going to beat those until it's a nice, smooth mixture. That wasn't too difficult, was it? So this is a 2-pint basin, and I've really well buttered it. But for sure, I'm going to put a little piece of non-stick paper at the bottom.
Now for that beautiful swirl of tin pears that will sit on top of my pudding.
It takes a bit of care to do this, but just think of it as spokes of a wheel and tuck them in, because you do want a nice pattern when you turn it out.
Add the rest of the pears and top with the pudding mix.
It's a lovely, rich colour.
A steamed pudding's success depends on it being sealed properly. So butter some foil, then make a small pleat. It will let it expand a little while cooking.
This is a classic bowl. You know, the sort that you had, gosh, I have memories of treacle syrup pudding when I was young. It used to come in a basin like this. And with that ridge, you can tuck the foil, pleating it all the way around. It's a twist and a tuck.
Use a jar lid to stop the bowl touching the bottom so it won't burn. Then fill halfway up the basin with boiling water.
Lid on, bring it to the boil, then simmer gently for 1.5 hours. And now a totally indulgent toffee sauce. Very easy, just 4 ingredients: cream, butter, light muscovado sugar, and black treacle.
Melt them all together, boil for a few minutes, and it's done.
Well, this has had 1.5 hours, and I'm going to loosen the foil all the way around. There we are. Oh, it's well risen too. I'm just as excited as you are to see how it does. I'm going to just lift it up and hope for the best.
Let's set it alight.
Got the brandy? Got a match? How about that then? It just comes through as Christmas because it's so spicy. The ginger, lovely treacle, and that sauce just goes so well.
Once in Roy or David City stood our holy cot or shed.
The Christmas carol service is a tradition close to my heart, and the atmosphere inside St Paul's is truly breathtaking. What an honour to be part of it. Time for my reading. The children's advice is ringing through my ears.
Take a heap of childlike wonder that opens up the eyes. Mix in some fond appreciation for the people whom we know. Add some giggles and some laughter and a dash of Christmas food. It's amazing how a piece of pie improves the attitude. If we use this healthy recipe, we know we will remember to be in the Christmas spirit, even when it's not December.
What a wonderful experience. Such a joy to be singing with the inspirational orchestra and choristers. I can see why thousands of people want to be part of it every year. Happy Christmas, everyone.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go.
Take a look in the 5 and 10,
Glistening once again.
with candy canes and silver lanes aglow.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store.
But the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your own